Ben McKee, Patrick Brown, Go Vols 24/7 here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where Tennessee just beat Virginia 49-13 to start the season in the win column. And we will talk about the offense. It did score 49 points after all. But I thought the storyline coming out of this game, Patrick, is the defense.
Yeah, that group is really flying around. Defensive line, we heard a lot of good things about them going into the season. I think they backed that up with really sort of a dominant performance. You know, they were playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage quite a bit. Virginia could not really run the ball very well early on, or most of the game really. Couldn't protect the quarterback. James Pierce came out, backed up a lot of his hype with 2 sacks. I think they got a couple more from Tyler Barron as well. And they were put in some bad situations. I think Virginia had at least 3 possessions in the first half, starting on Tennessee's side of midfield. And Tennessee gave up, 3 points out of it, I think. Or actually, I don't think they gave up any points. I think the drive they got on the field goal was a long drive. So really good start to the season for that group, and really sort of kept things going while the other parts of the team figured their way out.
Yeah, and I thought the defensive front dominated Virginia up front, but I thought the early returns on the secondary is signs of improvement.
Yeah, it's tough to be tested a lot when the quarterback's running for his life.
Right.
Has very little time to get the ball off. So, but yeah, I mean, they rotated a lot, really at all 3 levels of the defense, and you saw sort of strength in numbers and good depth from Tennessee. And again, you don't give up just 13 points and less than 300 yards without getting really good play from all 3 levels.
Yeah, and on the offense, mostly positive, some frustrations here and there. We'll start with the good. I thought Joe Milton's decision-making was really good, and he looked good overall on the day. But, man, this running back trio, it truly is one of the best in the country.
Yeah, and let's give a little bit of credit to the offensive line. That's been a group that's taken not a beating necessarily, but had some question marks coming in. They rotated a lot, played, I think, 8 different guys. But yeah, the running backs looked really good, Ben. Jalen Wright backed up again. I've heard a lot of good things about him this offseason.
Back that up.
First 4 plays of the game, he's 4 touches for about 40-something yards, and he had over 100 yards. Dylan Sampson scores 4 touchdowns. Jabari Small does his thing. And Jalen Wright after the game said, we think we're the best running back group in the nation, and they put out a strong effort today, that's for sure.
Absolutely. You had Matt Miller tweeting about Tennessee's running backs as well. In terms of the negative, a little lull there in the second quarter, and Josh Heupel said he didn't feel like the skill position players were in a flow. And then Joe Milton said some guys took some plays off here and there. And I don't know that it was necessarily an effort thing as it may sound, but maybe just I'm too comfortable in the fact that we know that we're going to beat down on this Virginia football team.
Yeah, obviously the day's a little bit different for McKee catches that long pass. There was another pass where Dante Thornton had a step, and Milton kind of underthrew him a little bit. Milton missed Keaton. That was a catchable pass that maybe should have been more accurate. But we kind of saw this in the Orange Bowl with this group with Milton and these guys. It wasn't all rosy. It wasn't like it was with Hooker where it always seemed to work. They had to sort of work through some difficulties and kind of push through some struggles, and they did that. And they got a 90-yard drive in the second quarter, and from that point on, it looked more like the Tennessee offense we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, and we actually have to talk special teams before we get out of here, and typically that's not a good thing when you have to talk special teams. Mostly a little questionable, I guess you could say, a little worrisome. But there was also some positives in there as well.
Yeah, some not great punts from Jackson Ross.
And you understand,
right? This is his first college football game in America. He's from Australia. He's also right and left-footed, by the way. I think we can say that now that we've seen it. Seemed to punt better left-footed, but again, like the offense, you saw him get better as the game went on. D. Williams is dynamic, elite as a punt returner. That's what Josh Heupel called him. He had 2 really long returns today, really a third on the first one he fumbled, and Heupel really credited D for coming back from the fumble to make a couple of bigger plays later in the game. He's such a weapon when teams kick to him because he can flip the field, and came close to housing a couple today.
Absolutely. Tennessee says hello, win column in the Music City, and we've got plenty of coverage of it up at Go Vols 24/7 throughout the day and the rest of the weekend. He's Patrick Brown. I'm Ben McKee.